Hey, how we doing, everybody? Welcome back. Been a long time. Hey, that's how you start the video here. So yeah, there's some news. The patch notes have come out. Patch will probably be dropping on Thursday, which is usually when they drop it, Tuesday or Thursday, what have you. I'm just gonna go over the patch notes. I'm gonna go over the two champions that got reworked, but they got buffed. Obviously, they just like to use rework just in case they have to fucking hit somebody with a ban hammer, nerf hammer rather. I do apologize for the last video I put up. For some reason, OBS didn't have my microphone, which it's used every time, which is really weird. But as you saw, opening 50 primal shards when there's not a two times for mythics is the stupidest fucking thing you can do. I did it because I was feeling lucky and I wanted to gamba, and it didn't pay off, and that's something to teach yourselves. Update in my life, I did have a really good show in Garrison over the weekend. We had about 60, 70 people in the Garrison bar. It was me and my two other comics, very close friends of mine, Samson and Cole. And yeah, we had a good time. Made a little bit of scratch, and we were able to get the fuck out of there. It was a good time, though. Um, yeah. So on that, we do this coming Saturday. Update on my life. My buddy Cole, we're doing his roast. He is a comic and he's turning 27, 28. I don't know. He's a young man. Um, so good for him, right? And then that one looks to be a big one too. I'm actually on the panel for that, so I'm kind of excited. It's the second roast I've done, and yeah, I got some jokes written up, and we'll see how it goes. But let's talk about the patch because that's what you're all here. You don't want to hear a middle-aged man drone on about his middle-aged stuff. So let's get into it. The patch is going to be coming out. The patch is patch 10.20, 1020. Hell yeah. It's got a bunch of quality of life updates, which we've been asking for a long time. Personally, I would like, they're going to get better over time progressively, even more so than what we're getting right now. We're going to start off with, we'll talk about Hydra, and then we'll talk about campaign. We'll talk about what they're doing to the altar, which I don't understand what they're doing with the altar. I don't think this is really a thing for anybody. There are champion filter updates. They're bringing new frames and avatars to the game, and there's new relics that are coming to the game, and they're going to be clan specific relics. And I'm hoping these relics are going to be over the top really good. I haven't watched any videos on the relics yet. I did watch a couple content creators break down the patch, and then I've been reading the patch notes. So I'm going to give you my interpretation of the patch notes, and we'll just kind of get into it. Okay, so let's break it down. First thing that is happening that we're going to talk about is the Hydra changes. We are now going to be getting auto battles. Big thumbs up, yay. But it comes with a caveat. The first caveat, which we would understand, is you have to be able to one key the difficulties, and it's each difficulty to unlock auto battles. Okay, and I think it is for each difficulty if I read that right. So if you want to auto battle on Nightmare, you have to be able to one key ultra or one key Nightmare, and so on and so forth, right? Um, and then the other caveat is you get 5 attempts at auto battles. It does show you in real time the turns that are taken. You get to watch it, which is pretty cool. And so you can see when the run fails. But you get 5 attempts, and that's it. You don't get 5 attempts at each difficulty, which would make sense, I would hope. You get 5 attempts total, period, between your three keys. Does that make sense? So essentially, what I would think is, you're going to set up your auto teams. Like if you're like me and you have a Trunda, Yumiko, Lamasu team, you can't auto that team. It's still going to take you an hour and a half to do. It took me an hour and a half yesterday. All day yesterday on my last day off with my wife before she went back to work. I sat on the couch with her. We watched South Park. We were having a good time. And then I just did Hydra. I did Chimera. And I did a bunch of other shit I didn't want to do in the game. I pushed it off. I usually wait until I'm at work to do those because I end up getting some free time at work. And also, when I get busy at work, I can just pause, go do what I have to do at work, and then come back and I can resume the fight. Does that make sense? Uh, Hydra literally is the soul sucker of this game. They are trying to help us out by easing this with us, and this is kind of a nod to clans and players alike that are done trying to compete in Hydra to be like, listen, all right, just make an auto team that can go, you know, Nightmare top chest is 36 million damage. Do it. You know what I mean? They put competitiveness into Hydra to get players to compete in Hydra, and then people hated it because of the Trunda, the Corpulent Cadaver, Wixwell, all that stuff. And then they nerfed the things, and now it's even more grueling. But they brought the turn count down. I mean, there's so many angles that this thing has had to change, and it's still. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a game, right? It's a Gamba game, but it's a game. You're meant to have fun, and it is literally not generating dopamine to have fun in Hydra anymore. They were supposed to come out with Ultra Nightmare Hydra.
Today, Junior.
And that is, if you look at the pictures, like in the game, like you have the loading screen there, especially when you boot the game up, it's still Hydra. I don't know if it's Hydra anymore, but there's a head that we haven't seen yet in Hydra, and I feel like they just scrapped it and threw it away. They said, fuck it, we don't care anymore. That's not going to make us money. We're going to focus on Chimera now because Chimera is going to make us money. You know, Event Dungeon, that's going to make us money. So that's really what they've done, which is a bummer. Because the head looked like it probably stunned. It had electricity and stuff to it. There's probably a new debuff that they were going to throw in with that. But yeah. So all that long tangent to say, auto battles are coming to Hydra. My rambling is coming to an end on this. So you get 5 attempts across all difficulties, not just each difficulty. You get 5 attempts to auto battle. And honestly, and you don't get to pick, you know, you don't get to do them all at once and be like, ooh, which one do I want? Nope, you got to run it and be like, can I get better than that? You run it again. I did worse. You got to run it again. Ooh, I got in the middle between the two. You know what I mean? So it's like, good luck. Okay. Sadly, I'm still going to be doing everything on manual because I'm in a competitive clan, and that is what is required of me. I'm a deputy in the clan, so it's actually exemplarily required of me because I need to, you know, do. Right.
You don't break an arm jerking yourself off.
So there's that. There's new rewards coming to the clan shop. Like I said, we get new relics and we get new relic crafting materials. The relics are going to be specific to the clan. And like I said, I haven't watched any videos yet. Nub just put one out on them. I'm going to watch it, and then, you know, maybe I'll put it in the description on what I think is good or not. But again, we're getting 2 of each. We're getting 2 mythics, 2 legendaries, 2 epics, and 2 rares. And it's going to be on the far right. So once you hit like level 15 or 16 for your clan, I think they become available. I think it said. So kind of look out for that. It looks good. My clan still, we haven't unlocked the last 2 slots there. And it isn't just like, all right, if you hit, you know, whatever, the 16th slot. Hey guys, Ope from the future here. Just upon editing the video, I wanted to clarify some stuff, and it's about the relics that you're looking at right here that I'm going to be talking about. Yeah, I misspoke. It's not when you hit level 15 or 16. It's going to be in the 15th and 16th slot that these will become available. And it's when your clan hits level 28 and level 30 that these 2 slots become open, that you will be able to purchase the stuff. So clarifying this here. Thank you. Mwah. Have a good day. Peace. Or whatever. It's not just going to have the relic there each week. It's going to be rotating between the relic or the crafting material. Like they're putting in the basalts too, like 3-star basalts, which are hard to come by, and even an Ultra Nightmare Chimera. So something to think about. I have started leveling up the rares that I have dupes of that I don't give a shit about. I've been leveling those up and then doing what you do with champions and shit. You know, just ranking them up. Because I have 2 legendary relics. I have the Scepter, and then I got Cat's Gaze because of the, thank God for the, you know, the Hero's Path. That saved my bacon. I was really sad I didn't get that Cat's Gaze. But, yeah, big damage boost there. But that's coming to the clan shop, so hurrah there. This is hopefully going to inspire people to actually, like, take quests and keep doing quests. I know passively, every week I get, like, between 3,000 and 3,500 coins just between doing in-game events, and doing Hydra Clash and Chimera Clash and stuff like that. You just get the coins. And if you're like me, I only buy a couple things. I buy the Void Shard, I buy the Legendary Skill Tome, and I buy the Energy. That's about it. So there's that. Super Raids are coming to the campaign. So now you can double up and save time while running campaign to level up champions. I honestly would have loved to see this just been an auto battle, which a lot of players are wanting this to go to. A lot of players are wanting the dungeons to go to auto battle. Because Plarium just needs to do it. If you can do it with clan bosses, then you can fucking do it with campaign. All right? You're pissing off the entire player base. Just let us fucking auto battle campaign and auto battle the dungeons. And for fuck's sake, let us auto battle Minotaur. Jesus Christ, that is the fucking most irritating thing. Man.
He's spaz.
But you know why they won't do it though? Well, for Minotaur especially is because, well, they'll sucker a player into being like, well, 800 gems and you can get all your masteries for your champion. Fuck off. It's around 600 gems equivalent for energy refills compared to 800 gems just buying them outright. All it does is save you time. But you know what would really save players time, because we have to spend so much time in this fucking game? It's just, let us just do auto battles for campaign. Let us do auto battles for the dungeons. If I queue up,
a few moments later.
All right, I'm cool. Whoa, I'm cool. Super raids we just talked about. The summon altar factions are shown now. I don't know who the fuck this is for. I heard some content creators saying this is probably for new players that don't understand what factions these champions are in. Hear me out. It doesn't fucking matter what factions the champions are in. You don't need to show what factions they're in. Just show their name. That's all, and you already see the name. So, tangent on that. I think that's fucking stupid. But thank you, I guess. Updates to the champions and their skills are now shown. So if a champion is immune to effects or debuffs, it will now show, like, I saw Nubs pull up Calvalax, because Calvalax, people are like, well, he's getting poisoned. He's supposed to be immune to poison. No, Calvalax, whenever he gets poisoned, it flips it to continuous heal, like the Magma Dragon. But unlike the Magma Dragon, Calvalax's passive goes on cooldown. Okay, so it's essentially showing stuff like that. Okay. Champion filter update for Faction Guardians to not show the Faction Guardian champions. People are also like, why are we having this? Because if you go to, and it's in Doom Tower specifically, if you go to the Doom Tower and you click on a champion and they're a Faction Guardian, you don't want them to show up. Well, that doesn't mean that you have exclusively not Faction Guardian champions fighting in Doom Tower when you're doing the special rooms. So that's just kind of a weird thing that they threw in there. Again, I don't understand what that was for. Maybe that's to help declutter. And then this one, I'm going to go off on a little tangent about, and this is really what pisses me off. New frames and avatars are being added to the game. Aren't you fucking excited? Wow. The easiest things to do in the game, that they're going to try and entice you with monetization and try and entice you to spend your fucking resources on frames and avatars, which, don't get me wrong, they're very cool. I like them a lot. Do you know what else I want to see in the game? I want to see champion skins. They were doing what Summoner's War and the other gachas do for champions, where they're like, hey, look at this skin for Ganut. Look at this skin for Arbiter. Aren't these cool? And people were like, yes. And people did fucking buy them. There was a market shown where they were getting increase in revenue because people are like, dude, fuck yeah. I'm gonna get a little new hat. I'm gonna put a little hat on my guy. He's got a cool little hat, right? He's cooler than your guy, and you can see my guy's got a hat. Fuck you. You don't have the hat my guy has.
Yes, it is cool, I thought.
But for some reason, we haven't seen any new champion skins, period. And it's actually ground the fuck out of me, because if you want my money, make it so I can make myself different than the other person. Or make it so, not even that, honestly, that's pretty vain.
You're so vain.
But make it so I can just have something else to look at. They do a really good job on their skins. Raid excels in their visual quality of this game, period. It's not anime, it's literally dark fantasy, and that, my friend, that's what we're fucking here for. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot easier just to make frames and avatars and be like, if you fucking like it, good. If you don't, well, fucking suck fat Plarium penis. But hear me out. If you guys actually want to make good money, how about you just make skins? Hear me out. Actually, How about you stop putting out new fucking champions every month? Which they haven't in a while. It's been like every 3 months now, which is what I think they should do. I believe it's been every 3 months. Yeah, about every, give or take. Yeah, but there's a new fusion, I guess, so whatever. But hear me out. Slow down the champion output. Make money on skins. Right? Do some iconic shit. Do a Jason Voorhees thing for the fucking mass chopper guy that's in Bannerlords. And he looks like Jason Voorhees. But really just get into it. Right? Really border the line on trademark infringement. You know what I mean? Like, have fun with it. Put ambient effects on things. Right? Start with the mythicals. You've been pushing mythicals. We got mythicals now. We're having fun with mythicals. Really make them bitches pop. Feel me? I love this game. To a point. You want my money? Do something that makes me want to give you my money. Something like that. Tangent over on that.
Okay, fine. I'm cool. I'm fine.
And then, along our way on the video, holy shit, 15 minutes. Not so bad. I thought we were like 30. Constantine and Altan have been buffed, and we'll go over them here quick. So the buffs for Constantine and Altan, I don't think are going to make much of a difference. We'll go over Constantine first. Let me just pull this onto screen so you can read along with me. We have to do some super cool editing. Display capture. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, Constantine the Dayborn. His A1 is being changed. It was attack an enemy, place extra hit if the target's under any debuffs. We're not doing that really. Well, still going to have that, but it has an added effect. It'll attack an enemy and then places decreased defense for 2 turns. And then this debuff cannot be resisted if his brother Vlad is on the same team. Okay? A2, Rune Shatter. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense for each leech and decreased defense and block active skills debuff thereunder. Vlad places these. Something to think about. We're changing it. Attacks all enemies 2 times. He will now ignore 15% of each target's defense. So not contingent on these, right? He will then ignore an additional 10% of each target's defense for every of these debuffs. And then if the target is under these debuffs, simultaneously, each hit will ignore 75% of their defense instead. So he is going to ignore 100% of the target's defense if they have all these debuffs on them, added with this, and then added with the passive, it's going to ignore 50% of the target's defense. Plus, you're probably going to have him in lethal or savage, or merciless. So you're really going to be smacking with this guy, okay? Quietude. Attacks an enemy before attacking, steals all buffs from the target, then transfers all debuffs from himself to the target. Decreases the cooldown of Quietude by 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. Okay. Attacks an enemy before attacking, steals all buffs from the target, and transfers all debuffs from this champion to the target. This effect cannot be resisted if his brother is on the team, Vlad, and then it will reset the cooldown of this skill completely if the target is killed. Pretty neat. And then they're changing his aura and increasing it to 35% in arena battles instead of 30%. They're hoping he's going to see some more play. He is a Void legendary. People do fucking get big frown face when they get this guy, so hopefully it changes. I actually have this next one, and I don't think this is really going to change him for anything but, say it with me, folks, Cursed City. So here we are. And I don't even use Altan and Cursed City, to be fair. Altan of the Shell, before and afters. So what's happening with his A1, the only thing that's happening is they're increasing the chance of placing decreased defense. It's going from a 30% up to a 50%. So that's it there. Moving to the next one. His A2 Resurging Reversal. Before, it will remove all debuffs from himself and then heals him by 20% of their max HP for each debuff removed. And then it will place a shield on him for 2 turns. The value of the shield is equal to any surplus heal from the skill. Finally, it will attack one enemy, will ignore shield buffs. Damage increases by 20% for each debuff removed by this skill. Jumping over. Now, after the buff, remove all debuffs from this champion and heals them by 20% of their max HP. Heals this champion by an additional 20% of their max HP for each debuff removed. Pretty solid. Then it will place a shield on him for 2 turns, and the value of the shield is proportional to his attack. I think this is one of the few champions in the game that actually does this. I think he's the only one. The value of the shield also increases by 5% for each debuff removed, and then it will attack an enemy and ignore shield buffs. Damage increases by 20% for each debuff removed by the skill. Pretty big damage boost and survivability boost. I still don't think we're going to be bringing him out of the vault, to be fair. Even after that. This next one, even after this one. Before his Somnolence Spores, attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance of placing sleep on them, will ignore 50% of their resistance if a well is on the team, fills his turn meter by 15% whenever a sleep debuff placed by this skill expires. And then we're going to jump over to the buff. Now it's still first attack all enemies. Okay, so he's going to hit first, and then 100% chance of placing sleep for 1 turn, and 30% chance to place decreased speed for 2 turns. If Oella is on the same team, it will place a stun debuff instead of sleep, and then it will ignore 50% of each target's resistance. I can't remember if this buffs up. Let me pull up Altan here. Let's see if it books up. Where's my boy? There he is. No. So the chance doesn't. We'll place sleep, 50% target's resistance. Yeah, so no, it literally will just yeah, it's just legit 30%. Oh my god, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. It's doing this in addition. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I thought it said a 30% chance to place decreased speed. No, it is 100% chance of placing sleep, and they'll also be decreased speed. But if Oella's on that team, they're getting a stun instead of sleep. And then if she's also on the team, he will ignore 50% of each target's resistance. And then it'll fill the champion's turn meter by 15% whenever a sleep or stun expires. And if Oella is on the same team, he will get an extra turn. And then damage multiplier increases. Well, we'll see if this does a lot of damage. The only thing I have a problem with here is you are going to have to build Altan in a hybrid build with lethal and pinpoint, savage and pinpoint, merciless. Nope, not merciless. Because you need 6 beasts to hit 35% ignore defense. But yeah, he's probably going to need pinpoint so he doesn't get sheeped if you are planning to use him in arena. But yeah, that's going to be it. We'll see. It looks like they're just trying to take 2 champions that people get the big sads about when they get them. And they're trying to buff them so you don't get so sad. But we'll see. We'll see. I think that's going to be it for the video, guys. Yeah. We're going to do some editing. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to put this up. Put some memes in it. I know how you guys like them memes. Bitches love memes. What else? Oh, this was another little aside I wanted to... Do not collect your Alice soul if you can help it. Don't click on the red dot. Resist the red dot, because we have a soul chase tournament, and I believe you get some points for collecting that 5-star incomplete soul. So just a heads up there. So try not to collect it. And what do I gotta say about this? I actually really like the changes they've done to the market, because now I actually look at pieces like this provoke piece. I'm gonna buy it because I'm gonna roll that bitch up, because that was a good piece. You can tell when pieces on the market have speed on them and are decent, like, because they're worth millions of silver, like 4.2 million on average for a 6-star legendary piece. This one, just attack percent with crit rate, so this is valued at 5.4 million because it has those 2 combinations. So kind of interesting there. But yeah, everybody, have a good day. Be smart. I really don't care for the summon pull thing. I got an epic from it. The only thing I'm missing out of this is Krokmaw and this guy. Yeah, that's it. I got everybody else on here. So, there you have it. We'll catch everybody in the next one. Bye-bye.